There we go.
Hello! It's always a gamble. Are we going to go on? Is the mic going to be working?
Mic's working. On. I can see us.
And we have people watching. Hello, Roger. Hello, Mike. Hi, Carmen. Hello, Randy. And Renee. Oh my gosh, we've got a crowd this evening.
I don't know, since this whole change in the time. If you guys are serious about having a healthier life, reach out to your elected official and tell them
Lock
to
the clock.
end.
Don't care if it's this one. Don't care if it's that one.
Yeah.
Just don't want it moving anymore.
You know, it's interesting. I saw Tamara was drinking out of an amazing mug. But growing up in Arizona, there is no changeover. There's no time change whatsoever. So it wasn't until I moved out of Arizona as a kid that you started to become aware of it. And then the older I've gotten, the more insane the whole thing of having times change like that has become, particularly if you're like a productive person.
Yeah.
If you're working, you get up, you have a routine, and then particularly, what is it, the spring forward? Most brutal thing. Most completely brutal thing.
Completely.
So
we take the week off. That's always a vacation week for us.
Well, it's staycation.
Staycation.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I'm Tamara Neo.
Flux Neo.
And this is Neo Mix Live. Thanks for coming and
kind of
joining
went
us.
into our rant because I'm so, even the fall one.
Yeah.
We lose the daytime.
We get an extra hour in the morning, which is
dark.
Really awesome. But yeah,
how's that even help?
Going to Walmart.
You're half awake in the morning anyways. Why not wait till the end of the day when you're at least coherent? So regardless, okay, I'm done.
You sure?
Either
So
way.
we have a fun show today.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I got a Christmas present early, so I'm gonna get to
is
share it. Yeah. I think if it's not from you, then it's my own Christmas present to
Yeah,
myself.
I actually prefer that. I prefer getting my own
I
presents.
know he's terrible to buy for. Oh my God.
I'm terrible to buy for, but it's one of those
what did I
things.
get you
It's
for
like,
Christmas this year? Oh, you should see what you got me.
well, it's a surprise what she got me. She doesn't
Surprise
know
to
what
me.
she got me.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, pretty much.
But that actually would be a fun video because what I got, I think, for me from you is very cool.
Okay, you'll
But
have to let me know.
either way, no. So this evening, and I think we teased this out at our last because we were off last week.
Mm-hmm, we were.
So the show before, we actually Tamara's been out to Arizona working with our middle child
On her
to
trailer-
convert a
trailer
travel trailer into
transformation.
her own kind of like mini apartment experience.
Yeah.
Since she's out there and kind of getting herself orientated, all with the goal of ideally going to the U of A.
And last week the last show we put up was part 2, and it was about the counter transformation, and I got a lot of positive feedback.
Good.
On that.
I actually, I never asked you about that. Like, during the week, feedback that people offer. Is there a dialogue
people
that goes
do.
on?
People do.
Okay.
It's still very private feedback. They send me little private messages, which is
Okay.
fine. I like my
Sure.
private little conversation with my little Facebook world.
Hers. I in all candor, we do this, and Facebook's great. Tamara knows most everything that's going on in our community, our world, friends, both past, present.
Who just had a baby?
Yeah.
Who's breaking up?
So she keeps up with it. I put absolutely zero time into it. So I literally am clueless about it.
Until I whisper him in the morning. I said, "Did you know that might come up today? Be prepared."
Yeah. So at a minimum, it's a powerful tool if you use it.
Okay.
But point being is
Yes,
that
today is dyeing carpets.
yes.
I didn't even have any clue that there's this whole world out on YouTube, because again, you can learn anything on YouTube, with lessons on dyeing carpet. We had this lovely travel trailer, and again, it was all browns and taupes and that kind of color, and my daughter wanted it.
Very 1980s.
No, it's 2012. It was actually quite nice.
I know, but the
Well, the
design
colors.
is-
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, they haven't really updated. They have now, boy, you can't find one that's not grays, whites, blacks.
All ultramodern.
That's all they have now. But she wanted that look, and so we transformed this brown, taupey, nice trailer into this cute as a button, blacks, whites, grays,
Perfect
and
for a
pops of
16-year-old
cherries.
girl.
And the next thing I took on were the carpets. And I did not realize until I started, kind of researching it, because it was going to be almost $2,000 to replace a tiny little strip of carpet in this
Just
travel
because
trailer.
it was in the travel trailer?
And it was because where the section slides out.
Oh, yeah.
So it got
and you can
complicated.
see that. It's one of those ones where it's this wide, but if you want to create like a space for a living room
living
or
area.
a space for the dining area,
It
does it
just-
have one
just
or two
slides.
punch outs?
It's the same punch out.
Oh, okay.
It's the same punch out, and
Okay.
it slides out. So it would have been ridiculously expensive.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally crazy. I even looked into, maybe I can do this myself. Maybe I can install this carpet myself. And had it been a regular bedroom, I probably would have attempted it. It's a whole
Is it like
slide
just
thing.
glued, or is it just how it's like
I
built
have
from the word
no
go?
idea how it's connected, but it's connected there, and there's a little paper area where the carpet slides with the slide itself.
I see.
So it was just a little too complicated, and I was scared I would mess it up, frankly. So instead, in that
Let's try
search,
something I've never done before.
let's try a different something I've never done before. Dyeing carpet. There are a slew of videos out on there, and there are some very creative folks. This one woman took her steam cleaner, and she put the dye and the vinegar and the water in the barrel of the steam cleaner and just vacuumed the dye onto the carpet, meticulously clean, absolutely wonderful. And if I could have found a tiny little steam cleaner, I would have used that method.
Interesting.
But I couldn't find one small enough, because again, we're talking, a tiny little strip of carpet. So I did the old-fashioned method, which you'll see here involves
Okay. Little
a
elbow grease?
sprayer and some
Little
elbow
sprayer.
grease. But if I were to do it again, I would definitely do the steam cleaner method. So
Yeah, that is interesting. That might actually be worth kind of revisiting. Is after you've gotten through, because don't you have another video after this
Oh,
even?
I have several more.
Oh, okay. Maybe at the end of it, kind of like an overview of, obviously you're showing folks what you learned, how to do the process, but also the things you would do different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you knew, now that you know what you know, what would you have changed?
And there are a few things, for sure.
Okay. So either way, you want to get to the video?
Yeah, put it up.
Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, we are laying up good stuff.
Okay, that's the wrong video. And I'm sitting back here arguing with this man. Are you sure that's the wrong video? Are you sure? Well, there's different music. It's a different opening, and it says countertops instead of carpet. Yeah, that's the wrong video.
Well, I'm confused because it's the one you said, that one.
No, but we'll find it. We'll find it.
Well, I
We'll
can
put
take
it
a
up.
second.
You wanna
Let
take a
me
second right
actually
now?
eyeball.
Okay.
Yeah, you chat and be interesting.
Okay.
I will...
Can I do my unboxing?
Huh?
Can I do my unboxing?
No, I want to participate in the unboxing.
Okay, well then you
But
gotta be
give
quick.
me just 1/2 second. I'm
Okay.
pretty good with this stuff, but I think the main question is just making sure, in fact, it is the one that got
Yeah,
copied.
now the picture of her is on it. You're right. It does start with that picture of her every segment. But then it goes into the carpet, and it's a different song.
Dyeing carpet.
Oh, yeah, that would be it. See, that would be
Okay.
the one that
See,
you brought over.
easy fix.
Easy fix.
It's good knowing what you're doing. It's
Are you
also
sure
even
you
better
don't know what you're doing, wife?
knowing
sure?
which video is the right one. I'm a fan of that. But easy peasy. Let's get a lemon squeezy.
Yeah, easy peasy.
I want to be good to go here. Look at this. This isn't bad. And you know,
Look at all the people there.
the best part.
Oh, yes. Great nails. See these nails? See these nails? That would be Tracy Weston. Bluewell.
See, this is the best part here. Let me just notate this.
You know, and it would have to happen on the day that we have like more people than we've ever had tuning in.
No,
So-
what?
But there's always something. It's not fun and alive if there's not some error.
No, this is my point though. Okay, when we do these, this is the live part.
The wild, wild west part.
Check back next week. You won't see any of this.
Oh no! When I clip these and put them into their own private little
It's like,
segments,
wow, they're so
we
good.
were perfect. The whole show is perfect.
Okay, so, but that was an easy fix. So I got the right one.
You
it
did.
was
You
just
just
a
didn't
simple
play the right one.
little drag and drop to make sure we get the right one actually loaded.
Okay.
And let me go
Does it take a
here.
little bit to render?
And I think we're good.
Okay. Here we go.
Let me hit this and try again.
Okay, I'm just doing a test, so I'm going to put about a tablespoon in there. That's it. When it comes to the real thing, I'll put probably a full cup in. Okay, here goes a tiny bit of the dye, just again enough for a test. Okay, it's in there with the vinegar, and here comes the water. Okay. It's in there. It's a very light gray. I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, let's see how this does. Okay, so the charcoal gray has now had ample time to dry. That is a gray. That, I can't quite pick it up here, is the most luscious chocolate brown. There, maybe you can sort of see it there. It is not a gray. It is a beautiful color, but it is not a gray. It's a beautiful chocolate brown that probably works better with this flooring, but we're changing the flooring. So we're gonna go with black, or at least black dye. We'll see what happens. If charcoal dye makes brown, let's see what black dye makes. So anyways, getting started on it now.
Wow.
Ooh,
That was brutal.
That was hard to watch.
So-
if you have any form,
Yeah, if you
what is it, epilepsy,
didn't
where
have
things are going like this at you.
epilepsy
Oh my
before,
gosh.
we've noticed this, and this is kind of a new phenomena. You use certain apps to be able to get this content to play. I'm thinking, what is this, 2 or 3 shows now?
Yeah,
Where
it's
we've
just
had
blinking,
issues.
blinking.
Yeah.
But again, it'll be perfect when I cut it and post it up as its own
Yeah.
little thing, separate thing.
So the live process, and I will say this, a lot of the tools that we've worked with to get arrayed around us, all of them are excellent. This is, I think, the only chink that I've seen, but thank you for putting up with that, but the video was just miserable. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get probably a dedicated media player that integrates into our workflow here for the live shows, because this is crazy. But
Okay, so let's
we'll
talk
get
about
it
dyeing
lined
the
out.
carpets. So you can see, I bought this, sort of big expense. It wasn't expensive, but compared to the 99-cent Walmart fix, it was expensive. And man, that stuff just wouldn't work. Just wouldn't do that steady, even spray I was hoping it would do.
The pressure unit. you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it got returned. The little 99-cent sprayer worked well enough to get the color on the carpet, and then I used that brush to really spread it in and kind of get it solidified in the fibers. You could see that RIT has 2 different bottles. One is meant for
RIT is the company.
RIT is the dye.
The dye
Yeah,
company.
and I'm sure
Okay.
there are others, but everyone knows RIT. You can get it
Okay.
anywhere, Amazon. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at your Ace Hardware. It's ubiquitous.
Sure.
And it's been around forever, so it's good product.
Proven.
Yeah, and they had a product that was meant for all fibers, or sort of like the broad swath of most things, the wools, the cottons, the nylons. That was one bottle, and then they had this one bottle that was a specialty for synthetic fibers. And frankly, I was not sure what kind of fiber that carpet was. Now, there is some crazy test where you clip a bunch and you burn it, and if it burns this way, it's this kind of carpet, and if it burns that way, it's that kind of carpet. And it was July, and it was the desert, and the thought of lighting anything on fire was not really in the realm of possibilities. So I just kind of used them both. Eventually, I ended up using yet a third color. I started off with that light gray, didn't even get it close. I went to that charcoal gray, and it made it that really lovely chocolate brown. So it still didn't work. So finally, I did end up having to go with just a black dye, and it made it pretty good. Not a perfect, really true, pure black, but black enough that there was really no remnants of the brown left over.
I see. Now, my understanding is that our daughter had an accident. So one of the lessons to learn, if you're going to be dyeing one of these carpets, don't let water ever get on it, because...
Well, it wasn't actually. No, it did fine. It was.
It did?
It was. It
Or is
got,
it just a residual?
The cat's paws were. We were very careful about the white cat not walking through it until it dried again. And once it dried, it was fine. And that was a big question: is, are you going to walk around and get dye on your feet? You are that first day. Oh yeah, it's there. It's wet on the carpet. There's a little overspray here and there. So yeah, that first day you're getting dye on your carpet.
I mean,
now
subsequently.
once it's dry.
Okay.
Once it's dry, it's pretty well set. Now, we
Okay.
didn't want to take a chance when the flood hit, when they turned the water on without making sure the faucets were off. And everything got wet for like 5 minutes of unattended running water wet. The carpet was wet again. And it was risky enough that we weren't going to let the cat, the pure white cat, walk around.
It didn't
on
per se
So-
lift the color out.
No, there was no lifting
So
of the
the
color.
color
There
remained,
was no
but
spreading
just-
of it or
Oh,
anything
okay.
like that. It was just more a matter of, okay, well, we have a recently dyed carpet that only
see.
recently dried, literally.
Sure.
Because this happened a week after I left. Do we want to take the chance and have to figure out how to get black dye out of a white cat's fur? No. But I can tell you, when I went back there a couple weeks ago, it was dry, it was
Looked
fine.
good.
You could run around on your socks and your bare feet, whatever. It wasn't going anywhere. So it was really good. And the
Interesting.
overspray wipes right off. It didn't matter whether it was on the wood. It didn't matter if it was on the linoleum. Any product where there was overspray from me using the inexpensive sprayer just wiped right off. It was absolutely no problem.
Obviously, for the folks that are watching live, I could not make out what was coming up as far as the text beside each of the various shots. So what were you? I know, were you talking about what
Color. I think the color. First
the
one was the color
colors?
because I had put down a little stripe of paint on the vinyl because that's the next show is painting on the vinyl floors. And that color was beautiful, and I knew that color was what I wanted, and so the first colors that I put down on the carpet were very clearly nowhere in the scale of grays and blacks or charcoals. It was clearly still a brown, and you could see it especially when you put it right next to the painted floor. So
Okay. So something you'd recommend overall? Or is it
yeah,
is it just well
an
suited for a product like this?
inexpensive transformation, yes, I would
Okay.
do it again.
What could you see doing a room like this?
Personally, no, I'd pay for somebody to put new carpet in, or
So,
I'd go down with hardwood
labor
floors.
intensive. So if you've got
Well,
targeted
it's just,
use,
you're dealing with dye and it's getting in your fingernails and, your cuticles and stays there for several days. And I don't know, it's its own thing. And getting it a subtle color change was very difficult. I really needed to go to that black. So if you want to go black, yeah. And actually there's tons of videos about cars, auto interiors.
yeah, that's actually where I was thinking.
Yeah.
What about
Oh,
in an
yeah.
automobile where
Yeah.
it is kind of a targeted use? Not a lot of risk of water generally, and obviously the
Lots of
vehicle's
people
going to
taking
trap heat.
really nasty
Are there-
carpets and
Are there
turning them into-
odors?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So it's not like some products you put them down and like the next month you've got fumes that you're dealing
Nope.
with.
Nope. You're starting
None of
off with hot water, and then you're putting in vinegar to help set the color, and then you're pouring the dye in, and you're shaking it up, and off to the races you go.
Slick.
Yeah.
Slick. So good.
Yeah.
Pleased?
Yeah. Very pleased for that purpose and that transformation. That trailer, perfect.
Okay.
All of $4.98.
Those inexpensive too.
Truly
Okay.
inexpensive.
Good. Yeah, it's interesting because I've said this before. All these things that you're doing, a lot of these are first off.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you've done this before, but it's
Nope.
particular to this project. But it's interesting by tackling so many little things at one fell swoop. It's nice because you build up a little skill set, and then through the rest of your life, you now have these kind of things to draw upon that. But for that, you wouldn't have necessarily.
The broader the
Considered.
base, the taller the tower.
Oh, is that how it is?
That's how it is.
And also, the further you fall. Sorry. I've been listening to a lot of heavy metal lately. I think that's where that's coming from.
Okay.
Either way. So, kind of a fun little pivot. We've not done this on our show, but we know that it's very popular.
Yes.
The unboxing.
Unboxing.
Yeah. And I when I first watched one of these, I was kind of like,
Why are they
really?
doing that? I know.
Really? But they're wildly popular. And, I think when it's about products that you are actually interested in,
Yeah.
there's something to it.
Yeah.
Now, ours here, Tamara has an unboxing. I have an unboxing. And we'll do hers first and mine secondarily. But hers is going to be interesting because it's literally a brand new product. Mine's going to be interesting because it's not just an unboxing, but I also own these and have historically, so you can also get the perspective of how's a product over time.
Yeah.
And why would I buy a second one? And we'll get to that. So, at a minimum, I think we can pivot into what we're looking at here.
Am I going first?
Yeah, you go
Okay.
first.
Okay, so this is, and thank you to Daniel for turning me on to these. I don't have a pair of sunglasses. All that travel back and forth to Arizona, and I don't have a decent pair of sunglasses.
Sure.
I have the
Hold on. Oh, good.
I have
You gotta lay a foundation.
I have the $3.98 special from Walmart. So this is probably the very first expensive pair of sunglasses I've ever indulged in. These are Ray-Bans, and they are Ray-Ban Facebook. Facebook is one of the creators of these. They're known
Well, they're a
as
partnership.
Ray-Ban Stories. So these are they record things. They record video. They record photographs.
Yeah, we'll get through some of
and
the specs.
They
but
go right and they hook in with your Facebook page. So if you don't have a Facebook page, there's not much reason to have a pair of these. But for someone like me who grew up in the 80s watching, you know, the Ray-Bans on every major starlet and star for that matter, what was
Sure,
it,
they're
Tom
very
Cruise
popular.
and
Very
Risky
popular.
Business and all that. So I love these.
Well, and also, just for clarity, Wayfair itself is a style from Ray-Ban, and it's a
the
classic style.
So when you think of Risky Business and those glasses, that's the Wayfair design.
Yeah. Now, I think in an unboxing, you kind of show all angles of the box.
Okay.
So here you can flip it upside down. There you go. So on the ends, it has just a little bit of information. On the bottom, it looked like it had. Oh, it's got kind of like your basic overview. It has a bunch of information there. Let me see actually what that says. Oh, it's features. Oh, it's basically the because of I think the Facebook side of this, they want to make sure that you're at 13 years old and up. Not that that precludes you, but they have liability concerns. Probably some of this, maybe kids could get into some inappropriate situations, and the attorney in me is going like, because
Well, first
somebody
of all,
wears
the
sunglasses.
The videos that it
Somebody's
records.
changing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, the videos that it records are only 30 seconds long.
Oh, okay.
And secondly, there is a very small white light.
So
on
people
the
know
corner.
when it's on
Well,
versus
if you're
off.
thinking that it's, there's something there in that white thing, it's not a logo or an icon, it must be a light telling me that they're
Oh.
videotaping me? Yeah, sure, maybe.
Okay.
Probably not.
So
but-
kind of an interesting thing, and you know, this is interesting. The first thing that came to mind for me is Google did Google Glass
Actually,
a few years back.
Instagram did glasses
Oh,
too.
did they? So various companies have kind of taken their stab at that, you know, worn camera experience, and it's kind of a mixed response. Some people think that it's intrusive. It's like, look, you want to do that, that's fine, but don't video me without letting me know. It's kind of a weird little dynamic where people feel it can be rather intrusive. But obviously, you know, society's pivoting more and more where folks are getting more and more comfortable with omnipresent video. So I think each step along the way is kind of a new threshold. What I like, though, is that Ray-Ban here at least is trying to mirror kind of something you'd naturally wear.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm
Google
anxious to
kind of
see
took
how
the
close they look to
futuristic
that. Yeah.
approach.
And the Instagram ones were quite thick.
Yeah. These
So-
ones look like the
Can I
Wayfarers.
open it now?
Okay, you guys slowly open it up because people need to see what the packaging looks like and all
Okay, so
that.
it's a slide thing coming off.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so nice box. Says
How's
Ray-Ban
the quality?
Stories, Wayfarers.
Yeah, very
Good
high quality box.
Okay, opening it up.
Ah. So this
Yeah.
looks like it lifts. So pull that up. I'm interested
So
in seeing.
this is the case, and we'll come back to it. And then underneath there, it looks like there's some kind of little, probably instructions or something to that effect.
Go
and then
into
at the
that.
very bottom, cords.
Cords.
Ubiquitous
Does this
cords.
separate, or is that
No,
That's
no,
just
that's
the
just a
Ray-Ban badge. It's nice. Kind of. They took the time to make this actually nice. Nothing here feels chintzy.
Because this is what I paid for, right? This little red tag, right?
Yeah. It's Ray-Ban. Come on. Now this is interesting. On the back of this, download the Facebook View app. I
Right.
guess that's the app that interfaces
That stores the photos, and then I can move it from there to Facebook.
right
if I
onto
want.
Facebook. Okay. So let's see. We'll get into this. Why don't you first show what's in the little
Okay,
box?
so it's kind of a traditional box. It's kind of one of those leatherette things. Says Ray-Ban on the front. It's got a little what is it? USB.
It's actually a USB-C, but
plug. So obviously this is where it's going to charge as well.
the cool thing is, and there's a tiny little pinhole here, and this is kind of, I'll handle some of the technical stuff as we go along here, but, you know, people are used to their earbuds now when they put them into their case. That case has a little lithium-ion battery and charges your headphones so that you don't always have to be unplugging and recharging. This actually takes the same steps. So this case, while it looks like a traditional case, is high-tech in that this also charges the sunglasses. So I'll let you do the honors of opening them up.
Here we go.
Do you have to go ooh at each stage?
I
Is that a
do.
part
I
of it?
do. I'm
Okay.
excited. Let me tell you, these were $299. I can't tell you the last time I spent $299 on just about anything.
I won't comment.
No, you can't. No, just a knife in a pocket, a pen in a pocket. Okay, so there was this little thing to sort of keep it from touching each other or scratching each other. But this is it. And these are not much bigger than a traditional pair of Wayfarers. Do you see how thick that is? It's not very thick at all. It's pretty thin.
Can I
Now
see
the
something?
arms are a little thicker because if I'm remembering this correctly, this is where all the tech is, and on the very inside, someplace. Oh, there is that the speakers? There are speakers. So when
Yeah.
these are on my ears, I can play music. And it's like, what did they call that? Like your own theme music. I'd be walking around to my own theme music that nobody else in the world hears.
Well,
I mean, we
no.
all think we're crazy anyways, the way people walk around and talk.
No. These are open ear, so people
Right.
can hear them.
Oh, can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tamara's actually on
Probably
to
not
a
very
good
well,
point.
though. Not like an earbud, but I
Well,
wouldn't think you could hear it very well because it's right there next against your skin.
no. You're. I'll point out a few things, and then
Okay,
I
well,
think
you
it'll
all can
make a little
share
more
in my
sense.
theme music then.
So here, and I don't know if you can tell, and this is actually kind of cool. You actually have to kind of look for them. There are actually dual cameras.
Yeah.
One embedded on
Right
this
there.
side, one embedded on this side. And the cool part about these is that they actually do two things primarily. One, obviously you can do pictures, obviously you can do video.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's two, there's what's called stereoscopic.
Okay.
So they actually can create depth, much the same as your eyes would. So instead of having a flatter image, they're supposed to create a stereoscopic image, which kind of has this depth to it,
Nice.
similar to the way that your eyes would.
Now the one thing I do know
Now,
about
what that
them
looks
is-
like, we'll have to do subsequent videos
Sure.
to see.
I remember being that these are 5 megapixel. Now, do you
Yes.
remember the import of 5 megapixel in our world? Does that ring a bell to you? at
I
all?
think we got a Nikon, and that was
Our
like a big deal.
very first
Yeah.
expensive digital camera when we had just had a baby was a 5 megapixel Canon or Nikon.
Nikon.
We even asked, for help from Grandma, I think it was, to help cover the cost.
We were, well, I was
Because you were
very,
still
very
in school.
poor.
Yes, I was in law
Yes.
school. And we had a new baby and we wanted all the pictures to be perfect. And
Yes.
we were so excited about that 5
And the cool
megapixel.
part was is that this one
Now,
you
what does
could
my
you
phone
could do
have?
a flip around, so like you could see yourself
Oh, that's right.
and
You
do
could
your
flip the
selfies.
screen. That was
yes.
really- so how-
before
that was-
before that, you had film, and you would just kind of stick your arm out and hope that you were catching yourself. At least then, the big step was to be able to see yourself.
Yeah,
Now
so that was what,
everything's
15 years ago, 18 years ago?
no.
That was when I
We're
was
talking about
18? 18 years ago?
yeah,
17?
17.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that long ago in our world, but some people were babies then and
Yeah.
off to college
Blink
now.
of an eye.
Yeah. But other thing that this does then is it automatic light adjustment. So one of the big features about this generally is that it is voice activated.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right. Facebook take a picture. Facebook take
Oh,
a
is
video.
that how-
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm calling out to Facebook. Little weird, but okay.
Okay, now some of the things that are kind of cool here, you've got a power button just on the top, but it's very discreet. It doesn't stand out. It's not obvious. You have to kind of hold the glasses.
That's also the.
It's also, you
the
can take
shutter.
a picture. You can also start a video. You can also pause music. And part of why this little sleeve was on it initially, this is touch sensitive.
Oh.
The whole side
So the
here,
volume.
correct, is a touch sensitive side. Now, Tamara was talking about the microphones. You can't really see, but they're actually embedded here in it, and it's perfectly in line, but there's little recesses where there's actual stereo speakers.
Now, those are speakers. Where's the microphone? For
The
what I'm-
microphones,
'Cause this is a
there's
phone, too,
actually
in a sense,
3.
like a Bluetooth.
Correct. You can answer calls. You can take calls on it. It is, as indicated, Bluetooth enabled. But there are actually 3 microphones on it, and
They're
there's
not
one there.
obvious.
There's one there. And candor, I don't see the other ones, but I do know that there are 3 microphones embedded in this. So that's, unless maybe that's it, I don't know. There are 3 mics in here. Now, from the standpoint of storage, I think with the app you can take up to 200 pictures and 50 of the 30-second videos.
I thought it was less than that. I thought it was
No, I think it's actually 50.
Is it?
So it's got, you know, pretty good capabilities when you think about it. And the cool thing is, because of the ability to work with it voice activated, you can kind of live life.
Yeah, well, and you can
And
put
do
them
your
onto the
thing.
app and clear it out and keep moving
Correct,
on.
correct. So we know that the app is going to be important. We know that there's touch controls embedded in this. Plus, you can also have a capture button. So I presume with the app, there's going to be some configurability. But I think we'll hold off on you actually putting them on so we can finish. Here you've got, okay, never mind. She just goes straight for it.
Right there. Right there.
Here, for unboxing purposes, is just your standard cable. You'll have to provide your own little wall wart. And in here, let's see. Oh, is the whole little,
Reference guide.
you got a safety and warranty. You got a reference guide. And, ooh, a
That was-
lovely little
pouch.
if
There
you
you
just
go.
want to slip them into a pocket or something of that nature. Now, I wouldn't wear these on a boat. I wouldn't
No,
wear
no
them
water.
doing physical activities.
No.
I think you're,
Not
Unless you
not
just-
water friendly.
yeah, don't care maybe. The lenses, though, are Ray-Ban quality lenses,
Yeah.
which are excellent. So they're going to have the polarization. They're going to have the excellent UV protection. And again, I'm looking at them, and you know, if you know what you're looking
Yeah,
for,
they don't
you'll see
feel
them.
heavy. They feel like a pair of sunglasses would.
They do?
They do.
Okay, okay.
do.
I think Ray Charles would approve.
Maybe I'll keep
Would
these on
these-
for the rest
yeah.
of the show. So, but what I will do is I'll actually take them out this week and
Yeah.
record some things and put them up on the NeoMix Live Facebook page and kind of get a sense of them and maybe build a little compilation video or something.
Yeah, I
so
think
we
that would
can-
be fun. Now, this is interesting. I was looking at some of the marketing around this. They're trying to sell this as like a young person's thing. I
Like this is the Gen X. This is
Yeah.
this is the present you're getting for your mother for Christmas
Yeah,
or her
like,
birthday
honestly-
or Mother's Day. Oh yeah, this is it right
because the
here. Right
style.
to, well, and right to Facebook.
Yeah,
Kids
the
are on
Facebook. Kids do Instagram.
or
Kids
no
do
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Snapchat or whatever else is doing
So
right now.
that's not really, I think, in line. Now, maybe does the app? We'll have to look. The app itself, does it have you or give you the ability to like do that dual posting where you post to Instagram and you can post to Facebook? Those are, I think, some interesting questions, and it may be things that, as you know, Facebook evolves the app, maybe that'll be additional features to kind of draw in younger users. But you know, think about it, the price point. I
Yeah.
don't think that's really in line with
Well,
young
for
folks.
tech, it's well, yeah, that's true. But even still, for tech, when you consider what we spend on a phone, this is cheap.
Sure, but for a pair of sunglasses, which you know, obviously a lot of people wear them
Well, I
regularly.
wonder what a good pair of Ray-Bans goes for all on their own. I mean, they're not inexpensive.
They're not
on and of
inexpensive,
themselves.
but you know, probably maybe 150, 175 and up
I would say.
for a good pair.
So
You
now
know.
I have a pair that can answer my phone. They can play my
Yeah.
theme music.
But I like that they just look natural. They don't look like some sort of crazy product. But I still agree. I think this is actually geared for older people, but maybe.
It's true. It's
No.
true. It's true. It's just
But
so hard
seriously,
to hear.
but maybe
Yeah.
they're right
And-
now they're pitching one way. I think they should be pitching a little up the ladder because they look cool. I think the functionality, hopefully, and I can't help but think that for Ray-Ban to be motivated to put their name on this product and to go into development with Facebook, both of these are very mature and established companies. I don't think they want a stinker of a product.
Well,
So I
don't
think it'll be
this is
very
one. I think This is
fun.
a very fun product. They just
Yeah.
gotta find their market.
I think it will be fun to get some kind of post, use pictures, see what the image quality looks like. I know the pictures at least should be square.
Yeah, I think that's
It sounded like the dimensions, and actually here, I've got a little that I can go into here. Let me pull these up. So this is what they look like now that we're kind of through the boxing or unboxing here. And you can see, very
well.
standard, but you can see the cameras on each side more clearly. And so what you're saying is, I guess, to the upper right and upper left hand side of where that is, I guess a little light goes on. You can see also the button that I was referring to earlier.
On that picture, it's on the left-hand side of the picture, so the right
Correct.
arm on the top.
Now, kind of moving on to the next slide here. This is what I was looking for, the specs. Let me get us out of the way there. So the camera, the photo and video is where the difference is. The photos actually are 2,592 pixels by 1,944 pixels. So that's actually pretty high resolution pictures that are being taken. And like I said, the fun thing that'll be feature will be this stereoscopic effect, since there's going to be depth, since there's two cameras working in conjunction. Now, it was the video that is the 1184 by 1184 at 30 frames per second. So you should have pretty clean, nice video actually coming out of this. The audio, speaker, microphone, and this micro speakers, I was right, are just on each side. And then there's a 3 microphone array. I don't know where they are. I saw one hole, but I didn't see where the others were. Let's see.
Battery and memory.
Oh, battery. There we are. You're getting that. I didn't see where you were pointing.
Yeah.
Battery, memory, it's rechargeable, obviously, but 500 plus photos or 30-second
that's what my
videos. I see. Okay. But Wi-Fi connectivity, that's actually kind of cool for purposes of data transfer. Bluetooth is, obviously a standard, but it is 5.0, and it is compatible with both OSs, being iOS and Android. So pretty slick, pretty cool stuff. And the specs are going to be there. Now, Tamara pointed out something right off the bat. Obviously, battery technology has gotten better, but let me see those. Just looking at these, one of the interesting questions would be is what happens if you have this and a year later
The battery doesn't.
the battery
charge
isn't as
anymore.
responsive, it isn't doing quite what you need. Can you go in and have these replaced? I don't
Send it back to
know.
Ray-Ban, but
Yeah,
that's
you
worth
probably
finding out.
would, but that would be an interesting question. The other, I think, part of that then is that, what does long-term battery use like? Often, and this is just good practice, whether it's a smartphone or any lithium ion, we've done videos about lithium ion technology. It stresses the batteries when you let them drain all the way down. That's why I think this is actually pretty smart of them to make the case a resource for you when it comes to recharging. So if there's a way to look on the app and see what your battery level is and say you see that it's down to like 20%, I would recharge at that point to make sure that you're not stressing your battery unnecessarily. And by not stressing it unnecessarily, you get better life out of it. But that also then potentially could defeat some of the purpose. Do you know what I mean? If you have to recharge, how quickly does it recharge?
Yeah.
So I think those will be some of the fun things to go into as Tamara gets to using these and seeing how they work. But they're light. Let's see. Let's see how they. Ooh, this is a woman's size face. This is not. Did they have bigger sizes, or was it just this?
I think it was just that. Now, they had different frame styles and they had different frame colors. So in
Okay.
the Wayfarer, they had the black, and then they had like this real
Well, the
lovely
black's
dark.
the classic.
Yeah, but the dark blue is nice. You know, if you want a slight, you know, twist on the classic, the blue was lovely. And then they have the round ones that have the little horn rims there on the edges.
Okay, so they're different styles.
And
So
then they
any that look like they'd fit guys?
I don't know.
I don't know. For me, I don't have a particularly large head, but man, the second I put these on, they were hitting me in my temples. Now, this is actually kind of
Sorry,
cool.
there was a joke there somewhere, and it just flew by way too quickly for me to respond to. I'll run some words across the screen when we redo this one.
This was actually kind of cool. When I went to put this in, it's magnetized. There are little attachment points where the battery will be recharged.
Had a little pull tab
here,
across
and
it.
actually, yeah, this is kind of cool on the glasses. When they're open, they're covered, but when you flip it over, then it exposes where the contact points are for the recharging, but you can actually feel the little magnet to make sure that you know it's
grabbed
getting
it.
secured in there and will then recharge. And there's a little light then that'll come on to let you know that it's recharging. So I think some really slick design.
Very slick.
Great utility.
We'll see how they do.
I hope it's a good product.
I hope it is too.
I really do. I think it could be really fun. And hopefully maybe be a watershed for finally getting this type of product correct. So we'll see. You know, that's one thing that I will say that we're conscientious of. We do like actually buy these things. Nobody, you know, is
nobody's sending
saying,
us
hey,
You can if you
check
want
this
to."
out. Sure, but I would tell you. But the one thing is that all of our reviews, everything we're talking about, we've actually purchased and put the time and money into them. The time researching and then obviously the hard work to make sure that we can enjoy these things. So when we're giving you our viewpoints, they're earnest and honest.
Yep.
So-
So we'll let you know this week how it goes.
Yeah, very cool. So that's hers. Now mine isn't quite so fancy, but it's like, well, if you're going to do an unboxing, I'm going to do an unboxing. This is kind of
competition in this A style or A. What do they call it? Type A family.
Type A family.
God,
Yeah.
Lord help our children.
At least what do they say? They combat honestly. But these are very kind of fun. I'm a fan of Oakley. I think it's a product of growing up out west. You know, these were things that were kind of omnipresent. I was really kind of the first peer group that when kids started showing up in high school with the razors, I'm dating myself, but this is like late 80s, early 90s. The idea of spending $100 back then
Especially at that time. Yeah.
on a pair of sunglasses, all I could do is look at the other kids who had them. There was no way I was ever going to be in a position to actually try them. So maybe it's my envy as a kid that, man, once I became an adult and I could just get Oakleys, I've been like religious about it ever since. So, but either way, because I do actually love Oakley, they do great products. They're huge in development of new technologies around, you know, how they fit on your head. I find that they're just more comfortable. A lot of classic glasses, what I encounter is that they'll put pressure on my head along here, and you can actually just, they become...
Is your head big?
I don't have a big head. Maybe metaphorically, but not like practically.
Okay.
But the point is that I like having contact back here, which is Oakley's known for. What is?
Sorry. Okay.
But they also have like crazy designs that go over the top and
Oh, those are
stick at the
wild.
back. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a little. You know, maybe if you're
High
attracted.
fashion. They're the high
I
fashion
guess.
sunglasses.
I guess. But certain respects, I'm kind of traditional. These, though, is their Triggerman line. Now, these have been out for a bit, and it's interesting. I would have thought these would have kind of taken off, but I think and have thought about, well, why is it that I don't see these everywhere? I'm the only person I know that regularly wears them. I don't see them, you know, ubiquitous on, you know, shows or anything like that, but it's a great design. And I'll show you, I think, why it is that they're so appealing to me. But when you get these, the box, very simple. Not quite the quality that Tamara had. This is literally just a nice bit of paper. You know, a little hole where you could just kind of pull it out. There you go. And There you go. Let's see. Not two, but just a nice little multi-fold. Yes, there we go. High class. But
They put all of it into their glasses.
this
There
is
you
the
go.
important part. This is the important part. So you get the traditional little Oakley sleeve. I like the O.
He likes the little tags. He's got
I
a
like
thing
the
for little
O.
tags.
Because I think it's that little attention to detail. We care about our product.
Okay.
But either way, this is the cool thing. You get a little sleeve to make sure nothing gets chiggered up. But these have that great little back of the head grip.
You're talking about the rubber part?
Well, yeah, where the pressure is applied.
Ah.
And this is something that I love about Oakley is that instead of hitting you across the temples here, it touches back here and does kind of a sweep around your temples. So you get no
I bet that
temple
is more
pressure.
comfortable.
It is. And so having it touching at the back of my head, you notice it less and it just feels more comfortable for long-term wear. Which I think is important with sunglasses.
They're called Trigger Man.
These are Trigger Man. Now, these ones have the iridium lens. And
What is an iridium lens?
it's just a coating that kind of gives it a reflective quality.
Okay.
This has like just a matte black color to it, but the bottom portion is kind of this matte gray. So it's actually a two-tone, but it's very kind of muted. It's not; these aren't flashy per se. Let me actually pull up briefly here so you can see them a little bit clearer. Here you can see what they look like. Not in and of themselves some kind of flashy thing, but you can see that they have some of that traditional Oakley styling along the arms. So kind of that modern look. But, and this is something that I was wondering, why do these seem so attractive to me? Because it's kind of a lower cut. A lot of glasses, the way they look, they kind of elevate the aesthetics of the face and draw the face up. These are a little different in that they draw the features down slightly.
Put them on. Let's see.
No, I want to lay a foundation.
Whoa. The lawyer in him.
Patience. So where had I seen this before? And this is actually where it started to dawn on me. I think this is my subconscious. These here, let me pull them up so you can see. These are classic West Coast, like the old Loke style of glasses. Who would wear this? Eazy-E would wear this.
All right.
This is like, for me, mind you, when their album first dropped, NWA, I was, let's see, in 4th grade. So we would sit at the back of the bus with like a tape and play this so that the bus driver couldn't hear. Obviously, if you know any NWA music, probably not good
Not for
for
4th grade
for
crowd.
4th graders. But when you're a 4th grader out on the West Coast, a little different rhythm that you roll to. But needless to say, that aesthetic always stuck with me. And mind you, I grew up in the Hispanic community.
So that's straight, just that sort
That's
of-
straight, but do you
that
see, let me
square
go
look.
back into this. Do you see how it kind of, it's a lower cut.
Yeah.
It draws down. So these old Loke style were straight across the top, but they drew down into your face. They weren't like a lot of glasses that are trying to then kind of bring your face up. These ones drew down. And that look, in all candor for me, it's tougher. It just is like, I'm not here playing with you. I'm not screwing around. And if you don't want to take it seriously, see what happens. And when you're a young person in an urban setting, it's important to project.
Especially in the 4th grade.
But this is what I was growing up around.
No, I know.
No. Point being is that it's an aesthetic. Now this, Trigger Man, I think obviously kind of gives you a sense of how they at Oakley saw this. But to me, this is the
here we go.
modern take.
All drawing it down.
Do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's kind of a drawn down instead of going here and up, it actually draws down into your face and sets a little tougher, lower key look. For me, I think that just looks tough.
Yeah.
Now, as someone, like I said, who has used this now, these glasses for probably about, I don't know, 7-8 months now, I think. The only critique I have when you go to clean them, and I'm a pretty fastidious guy, I like things, my glasses to be clean. I've got some eyebrows, so, getting a little eyebrow oil on the lens. I try to clean them up every day after I use them before I put them in. And I actually got myself a little Oakley case so that, I can put them in a bag and not worry about them getting, messed up versus just the little bag that comes with them. When you're cleaning them, because of how the attachment points are, these are just plastic, but they're screwed in here on each side. But here in the middle, where the attachment point is between that matte gray and the upper matte black, there's just this little lip that connects the lower to the upper. There's just a tiny bit of plastic that clips in. So what you end up having to do to make sure that just that pressure of cleaning, and if you can believe it, I'm kind of vigorous, you actually want to hold the glasses here in the nose while you're doing that, because I have actually caused them to pop. Now, the lenses don't drop out or anything like that because they're in there, but in theory, you could replace these lenses by undoing the screws. And they make other colors of this. They make other shades.
So you could put in actual vision lenses in this
In
one as well.
theory, you could. Now, obviously, making lenses for Oakley, sometimes they're particular about which which frames are technically designed for RX purposes. Mm-hmm. So, if you like this design, maybe talk to whomever you go to for your prescriptions. But at least from my standpoint, I wear contacts. I think for a lifestyle that I live, it's more flexible for me. So I can just buy traditional sunglasses then. But these are excellent. Wear them all the time. They're lightweight. You can feel. Mm-hmm. You can try them on. These ones will actually fit around your head. But so they're wider, but they draw down. It's a tougher look. So you compare yours. Put yours on. Let me see mine.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Got it there?
I got it.
All right.
So my kind of Loke style, and yours, you can see, it draws your face up. Mm-hmm. Mine down, yours up. But tell me that's not tough.
That is
That
tough.
just looks tough.
It does, man.
I don't mind looking tough. Technically, I kind of am.
Technically, not even technically.
I'm a very nice guy, actually. I'm very friendly
Until he's not.
Until I'm not. But very few people see the not face. So, regardless, these are actually worthwhile. Very much so. I'm a fan of them, and like I said, going back when you understand. As a little kid, when you see this, and this is what you think looks cool about sunglasses, in the Hispanic community.
So now where's the risky business photo? You got one of those to put
You
up?
didn't ask me.
Man.
You got to give me a heads
I'll
up if you're
add
going
it
to
in. I will
reminisce.
add it in.
Yeah, but point being is that they're cool, and I think that they are the kind of glasses that aren't necessarily seasonal. Sunglasses, you put them on, maybe a season or two, you're kind of like, okay, that was then. What's new? Glass style like this, they kind of have classic.
Yeah,
Your Ray-Bans
yeah.
kind of have a classic aesthetic to them.
Obviously. They've been around that long.
Yeah, and here they're integrating tech into, again, a very classic design.
And it still looks beautiful.
To me, this is classic. It'll always be cool. It'll always have that kind of tough edge to it. But for, Tamara's, obviously she gave you a sense. These,
Yeah, what was the
I
price
think
point
the
of those?
price point, retail, they recommend $150. I get them new on eBay for $65, $70.
Gotta love eBay.
Yeah, much, I don't know, better. And then you don't have to be as invested. Now I have other Oakleys that, I may have spent $350 But I'm very sensitive about them. I, don't go out beating them up. When I'm wearing them, I'm making sure I know where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing, so as to not put them in a precarious position. These, it's great. You can go on, and they're kind of an everywhere, anytime type glass. So I like it. But I think this is fun. I like the unboxing thing.
This was fun.
What?
Fun. So get them out. Let's take them out one more time.
Okay.
One more time as
We'll
we say
have
goodbye.
to see. We're going to say goodbye
Yeah.
in style. We're going to say
style.
goodbye in style.
In Neoview style.
Doing
Neomix
this
style.
though with the glasses on, it's fun on one level. You get to see our lighting a bit, but it feels less personal.
It's nice not having this glare in my face. I don't mind it so much. It definitely, as expressive as our faces are, missing the eyes, I think would be a problem.
Yeah,
Show after
yeah.
show, but
For this one,
I think this
I
is
think
it
we're
for
good.
us. So,
Good show. Next week,
Yeah.
are we here or are we
No.
doing tailgating?
No, I don't think we are. No, we're here next week.
Are you sure?
Now we have to pick her up on Saturday, but
Are we tailgating?
no, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, we'll be here. I don't know what we're talking about. But as always, please, if you like anything that you're seeing, hearing, subscribe
yeah.
on
Our numbers
YouTube.
are ticking up. Our numbers are ticking up on YouTube, so please
And then
subscribe.
on Facebook, you like. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And as far as getting information, the cool thing about the subscription side, if you're doing it on the YouTube end, is that you get updates. So when we upload these videos, like we do the live show, but then we break those out for you so that you actually can have targeted segments. If one thing is more interesting than another to you, you can just watch the parts that are more fun and interesting, but you'll get the updates. You get the alerts so that you know when the videos are coming out. Share them. Let us know. Obviously, comments, all of that is wonderful and wanted.
Yes.
So either way, have a good evening.
Okay. Good.
See you later.